Hey, what's poppin'? We back with another Jesse Lee Peterson video. The white liberal woman whatever. Let's just get it. Let's go. No time to waste.
Mention the young voters. Why do we have so many, I'm going to say, white liberal women voting in policies that undermine our democracy?
Yeah.
One approach might be to repeal the 19th Amendment. One approach might be to say, look, families get a vote, headed up by the husband and the father, right? The family is what's important. And if we want the nation to survive, it has to support families. And support families, it needs to be families that vote and not these independent, feminazi, white liberal women who are always voting the wrong way.
Amazing.
You call them feminazis. Where this going to
go? They're going to elect a liberal, socialist, communist mayor of that city. And isn't that part of the downfall of America by bringing in those kind of people too?
Absolutely. If we know anything, it's that you have to look at what the values are of these people, right? So we know that people who follow Christ, who call themselves Christians, follow the one true living God. Okay, so generally speaking, if someone's trying to be a Christian,
it all always ties back into God, though. That's the weird thing. When I'm saying that's a bad thing, it's just like it's always the people that like God that be some of the most judgmental people in the world.
And they acknowledge they're not a good person, but they're trying to be a good person. Now let's look at other ideologies. Islam, the popular one of this potential new mayor and others. Founded by who? Muhammad. Okay, so who was Muhammad? Well, he was a warmonger. He spread his ideology through warfare. He broke down Christian and Jewish trade routes in the Middle East. He invaded people, subjugated them, made them pay taxes for not submitting, or just outright beheaded them. He married a girl at 6 years old, consummated that wedding, that marriage at 9 years old. So if people are following a man like that, what kind of values are they adhering to? I would say not Western values, not Christian values, not American values. And so I don't think that people of the Mohammedan faith should be allowed to run for office. I think in a Christian country, we should expect Christians to be running for office.
I agree. I absolutely agree. It doesn't, these people see us as a great Satan, and they see Israel as a little Satan. And that the Christians and the Jews, right? But I don't know if the young people understand that. I don't know if they understand the depth of what they're doing.
It's interesting because they did the same thing with like
these people into
with Christianity. It'd be crazy.
Really, they shouldn't even be living here, but they're here. I don't know. I don't think the young voters understand the depths of what they're doing and what will happen as a result of it. I don't think they understand that.
This is part of the problem. So, firstly, I agree they shouldn't be living here, and that goes for my country too. I think at this point to save the United Kingdom outside of a miracle and revival would take a massive political will of mass deportation, and one of the reasons
it's crazy how people you can tell are immigrants think this way and not thinking through what they're thinking about. Like if people believe what you believe right now, you wouldn't be able to be in any other countries.
For that, Pastor, is that we've got a massive, they call it Pakistani Muslim grooming gang problem, but so we've got these vast waves of Pakistani Muslim men.
Oh, they're blocking what he's saying. I was wondering, like, what the hell they keep happening?
Because they don't see them as the same as a human being. And so we know that the UK population only is it about 4 or 5% of the population is made up of these Pakistani Muslim men, but they account for 65% of the. So I would say, okay, so that's a demographic that we can't afford to have in our country. Gone, right? Every single Pakistani Muslim.
I do wonder what he's saying, though.
We can't afford to risk the lives of our daughters, our sisters, right? So mass deportation is part of it. But also the voting. You mentioned the young voters. Why do we have so many, I'm going to say, white liberal women voting in policies that undermine our democracy?
Yeah.
One approach might be to repeal the 19th Amendment. One approach might be to say, look, families get a vote, headed up by the husband and the father, right? So it's old-fashioned, it's the way it used to be, and it used to work. And it's not sexist, it's not misogynistic, because the most important unit within a nation is the family, not the individual. That's individualism. You know, we're not commies, we don't believe everyone fits into one camp, but also we're not individualists, as in everyone is their own sovereign person. The family is what's important, and if we want the nation to survive, it has to support families. If support families, it needs to be families that vote, and not these independent, feminazi, white liberal women who are always voting the wrong way.
Amazing.
So then how do we get to a point where we actually allow that to happen? Because it seems like they're rolling back on everything that could be possibly able to help families. Food stamps, Medicare, things for the, like, they're just rolling back on everything. They want to throw out all the immigrants, roll back on Social Security, programs like that help, daycare is more expensive than it's ever been. Housing prices are going up higher and higher than they ever been. How can we have family values if people can't even afford to have a damn family?
So let me ask, what is the Brotherhood of the Holy Trinity? It's an organization founded by you.
I just don't see
what is it and its purpose.
Conservatives.
Right. So
solutions
we founded it, but it was
being able
founded
to come
hundreds of years ago.
fruition.
Just over 100 or so years ago.
God, this dude talks so
in
goddamn
Oxford,
boring.
A group of clergymen and laity that wanted to get together to combat many of the issues that they saw in the church, but also to just be brothers together. And when I left Oxford, I quickly got kicked out of the Church of England because I refused to accept that the church is institutionally racist. And my bishop pretty much said, she said to me, as a white woman, I can tell you the church is racist. And I said, well, I don't believe in the institutional racism. I believe in individuals being racist. That's a sin that individuals can repent of. And an organization can be racist, but I don't think the church is racist. I think that's absurd.
If an organization is racist, that's institutional. That plays a role in institutional. I don't think he knows what the word institutional means.
Anyway, neither here nor there, I got kicked out of that organization. So when I left, I found myself on my own. And we can't do this on our own. We can't be Christians on our own. So I refounded this organization so that I have brothers who are like-minded, small c conservative, small o orthodox, small c Catholic in their faith, that believe what the Christian church has always taught for 2,000 years, and doesn't think we need to modernize or adapt to the times, and actually thinks that by doing that we become less relevant.
Right on. And so are you black?
No, Pastor. I'm half black, half white. My father's side of the family are from Jamaica, and my mother's side of the family are from England.
Wow.
And
So I'm mixed race.
Oh, and do you love white people?
I love all people, absolutely.
How about white people?
I love white people.
Nice.
My mother's white. But I love black people too. My father's black.
And so what's wrong with the black?
Ooh. This is a good question, because I think it's slightly different in the UK to in America. So I think the problem with the black community, so to speak, in the UK is that they're looking at what's going on in America and copying. Right? So we didn't have any slavery in Britain. We didn't have any slaves in Britain. And actually Britain is the nation that ended slavery all around the world, and that's something we should be proud of.
That's true.
However, there's a number of black people in Britain who live in a victim mentality as if they were slaves themselves, forgetting that their ancestors may or may not have been. In fact,
That's not true. I'm gonna end it right there because there's a war going on between black people, and he's boring as fuck to listen to. Oh my god, dude. I finished the video though, but there's a war going on between, not war, but there's an argument going on between blacks that live in Britain and blacks that live here, and it's about that, and like it's literally neither side knows what to believe when it comes to it. But anyways though, well, not that we don't know what to believe, but I don't even want to go through the big argument of it, but it is what it is. All right, y'all, I'm out. Peace.